a law that said the youngest had to be 10 or older. So we kind of fibbed about your age at that time, and uh, but we went to a lot of different states for the Louisiana, Colorado, California, no, yeah,
California, yes.
California, Texas. Uh, so we got to see a lot of the country, a lot of states. And you used to drive every summer.
Mm-hmm. Illinois. Yep.
The other, I don't know if it's a real memory. We participated in a teacher exchange thing for a couple of these summers, and we had a teacher from Belgium that stayed with us, and we had a little yellow Datsun. Station wagon was our main car then, and she wanted to see the Black Hills. So we drove down, and apparently it didn't have, must not have had air conditioning so she wanted to sit in front, but she took some Dramamine, and she wanted to sit in the front seat. So you and Nancy and Mom were in the back seat, and pretty soon she took so many Dramamine she fell asleep. I don't know if she ever knew that she was in the Black Hills.
And our poor dog was chasing back and forth in the back seat, not knowing what all these little more than hills were. It was a trip.
How little were we? I wonder. I know that.
Yeah, it was hot, and it was a hot day, and no air conditioning, and
Jacqueline was sound asleep in the front seat.
and it was warm in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then weren't we like in the upper single digits for age?
Oh.
I would guess that you maybe were like 6 or 7.
Okay.
But also her favorite diet was yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all she was interested in eating was yogurt.
And then we had several German
teachers and
yeah, those were
German kids.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have any favorite TV shows you watched? You know, as you got old enough, or I shouldn't say old enough. Once TV technology was available to you, do you have any memories of early on TV shows that you watched all the time?
Well, the TV shows that were on in those days were mostly westerns, like Bonanza and Gunsmoke and the Hopalong Cassidy. There was a thing. We were what were called sidewalk farmers, so we moved into the town of Flasher in the wintertime, and the implement dealer, I don't remember his last name was Marr. He's the first person to have a TV in Flasher, and he allowed the community people to come and watch TV from 7 to 9 or at a store. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember how many nights, if it was every night a week, but I remember going down there, and of course those were black and white only at that time. They were not color. Yeah. And then some years later, we ended up getting a TV in the farm, but most of our programs were, like I said, those westerns, and of course, Bonanza and Gunsmoke, those guys are all heroes because they always do things right. So.
And what do you watch today?
Well, I turn the TV on, but and once I start carving, if the show is over with, it's on. It's kind of.
I happen to sneak downstairs and he's watching Bonanza and reruns of Gunsmoke. So.
Yeah, but I'm not necessarily watching them.
Oh no, you're not. Yeah, that's true. But they're on.
Okay. All right.
They saved the world.
I'm gonna go back now and think. So, I think our last question before we stopped, we had no audio. Did we get through the interest in teaching? I think that might have been the question that was still getting cut off. So I think those will be the last two questions. So, how did you get interested in teaching? Ask that one.
I guess I don't really have an answer other than when I was going to getting my BS degree at Valley City, I was working for one of the chemistry professors, and then I got a responsibility of running the lab, testing water, and so I was effective like a teaching aide, and so that would be my first introduction to teaching, and
Yeah.
so I did that for almost 2 years, and as a teaching aide. So, and like I said, I grew up on a farm, and nobody knew about what an engineer does or what anybody else does, and so after that, all I knew was that little bit of teaching that I did.
All right. And then lastly here, what was and through all those years of teaching, you obviously had, I'm sure, some challenges along the way. Do you remember any big challenges that came up that you had to overcome in terms of either students, staff, anything like that you want to share?
Well, yeah, it's trying to figure out how you could make the student more responsible to get their work done that they needed to do. They were going to obviously flunk the test if they didn't do any homework. So, and it gets very frustrating, and Nancy would know about doing that, how frustrating it can be to watch somebody flunk a test out there because they didn't do anything to get ready for the test. I spend more time getting a test prepared for somebody who's had no time to get ready for the test.
I'm going to interject something here. Before the new Jack Science Center was built on campus, the teaching science area was rather prehistoric. And one day the still stopped working. So Frank called a company that disperses that kind of water. Oh, the business office just had a fit. And how did you
Yeah, but he told me that it was happening in the wintertime. And he told me I was supposed to take snow and melt snow for our distilled water. And
Frank said that wasn't going to happen in not very kind words. So
it was a problem having, they had, and I don't know how bad it is now, but they always expected us to do with a minimum amount.
things have hopefully.
Well, and as it turned out, I went and got my own distill from the state lab at that time, and fortunately, I didn't have to pay to have it installed. But you ended up in a lot of teachers still end up paying for a lot of their own stuff.
Oh, I remember, this is the last one, I promise. I just thought about this, but Mom was saying, we talked about over there. So, if you could pick any place that you could live, and you were not restricted to Bismarck, where would you probably have taken Mom to live at?
Well, when I graduated from college, the furthest I had been east is Fargo, and so I really didn't know, where we'd want to go, even to this day, we've been to a lot of places, and I don't know that they have pluses and minuses. Like Florida is nice in the wintertime, but not nice in the summer, or anywhere south really. So I don't know. Probably it's a good thing we stayed where we were.
Safe, Frank, safe.